Critically Chaotic is a rowdy Dungeons & Dragons podcast that consists of adult themes and humor. Content warnings for this episode can be found in the episode description as well as a link to transcripts. Queen, who plays Mogan, was unable to attend this week's session, and so is absent from today's episode. Rest, weary traveler, and enjoy.
In the last episode, the Vox Anima attempted to gather information about their new target, the mysterious bandit group the Thistles. Although they were derailed by the arrival of their new feathery friend Terry, they still found enough information to track them down. Before they could even hit the road, though, Carius and Valen finally talked. And it didn't go well. On top of all of that, Vay's nightmares and visions are only getting more intense, blurring her waking and dreaming hours. With our party in such a great mood, this could only mean good things going into the Thistles hideout. Right?
So, Vay, how you doing? You look a little, distracted.
Do I? You know, I've known Snow for literally a very long time. I'll go to her if I have issues. I really don't feel comfortable telling all of my dirty laundry to people I've known for 2 weeks. I will put the barrier down now. I'm not a big fan of these people coming to me with these issues. It's weird that people are always sussing me out. It's not a comfortable feeling, I will say.
So I asked if you were doing okay because you seemed a little distracted, and you come out swinging. You see how that might be a little sus, a little suspicious.
You see, I started out like that to avoid the continuation of this conversation like you are attempting to do.
No, yeah, I picked up on that, but
I've been nothing but helpful to all of you.
I'm not saying you haven't been helpful. You've been an absolute delight. You helped me figure out some of this magic hoo-ha, which I greatly appreciate. I barely have a grasp on it as it is, but I have more of a grasp on it now than I would have had without your help.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate your help. You've been an absolute delight, wonderful teammate. But if you may have noticed, I'm horrific at minding my business. Like, just the absolute worst.
That's understandable. I knew that about you, which is why the more direct approach is necessary. I feel like you're the type of person that can, handle the punches, that's why I came out swinging.
No, yeah, that is fair. I can't handle my fair share of punches. Been doing that. Both literal and verbal.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna have to weather some punches real soon, because I don't think these bandits are gonna be very happy that we're coming into their territory.
I would imagine not. As far as I've noticed, when you go into someone's territory and they don't like that you're there, you will know, my friend. You don't have to tell me anything. Don't have to tell anybody anything. You're your own person. Yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. But offers out there. If you want to talk to somebody who you ain't necessarily the closest to. I know it can be difficult to talk to people you're close to sometimes, because you don't want them to be feeling bad, or you don't want them to feel like they have to be worried about you, or you're trying to protect their feelings. And so it can be harder sometimes to talk to people you're close to. So if you want somebody that you're vaguely acquainted with, but you wouldn't feel bad if you gave them a sucker punch, the offer's there.
I will state this, though. 90% of the people that choose a life as adventurers are going to have some issues. Nobody completely sane decides, yes, I'm going to wander into enemy camps and risk my life for 15 gold.
Oh yeah, no, I am very well aware of that, my friend.
So everybody here is probably going to have some days that they're off. And sometimes, I will say, it is beneficial to just let it go. If someone seems like they're, open to having somebody talk to them, maybe you point it out to somebody that they're close to or something, so it's less strange that someone is just approaching them with, oh, you can cry on my shoulder when I've known you for 2 weeks. Like, we all have our damage, and in a group like this, airing out your damage can be potentially dangerous.
Well, I can't guarantee that I will necessarily act on your words so well in the future. I've never been the best at picking up new habits. Yeah, no, I will try and keep your words in mind for the future. Try and keep my words in mind, too, you know?
I will say, since we've had that whole conversation, if you also need someone to talk to, you don't have anybody like Carius and Leaf and like Snow and Bay, like the dynamic duos, you know? Like, we have people that we can talk to, but you really don't. And like, you seem that with everything that you just said, usually people get ideas like that from their own experiences. So, since you came to me bringing this up, if you need to talk to somebody, you can. I myself probably won't air out my dirty laundry with you, but, you know, if need be, I feel like I should establish that there's an equal relationship and that we understand one another. So, if you ever need to, you can come out swinging right now and say that you absolutely hate the idea of talking to me about your issues. But there you go.
No, yeah, that's real sweet of you, Ray. I really appreciate that. You're good pal, and I appreciate you telling it to me straight like that. I'm having a good time talking to you.
Yeah. I feel like we never really got the chance to really have any discussions. Like, it's very much been like Vey and the Tieflings and then Snow and Jerome. Like, those two groups work really well together, but I really feel like you and I have like things that we're good at that can bounce off one another. You know, like, you're really good at like sneaking and I'm really good at like changing my whole appearance, so I'm really good at being sneaky in that way. So, we can become another dynamic duo, just saying.
No, yeah, the duo of the sneaky fellas. Yeah, we could work something out. I feel like we could do good with the whole sneaky deaky. But yeah. It good talking to you. This is a good talk. We should do this more often.
I agree. Can I do an insight check on Jerome? I just want to get like how he's sort of like feeling right now and his whole like vibe.
All right, I got a dirty 20 on insight.
With a -1, that's a 3.
With a 3, you feel like Jerome is being very open and honest with you and trying to be as honest as he can while his eyes are sweating. You could tell that like there's some stuff that he is like kind of withholding, like he's not quite comfortable yet, but like he does enjoy the idea of like being a dynamic duo of like starting to build that trust with you. And then for Jerome, you get the vibe that Vey's hostility towards everything is like a bit genuine, but comes from like a weird place that you can't quite identify, and whatever it was, a lot of this was kind of like Vey blowing off steam to kind of try to calm down from whatever had freaked her out or got her worked up. And that like she's a little indifferent to this dynamic duo thing,
Yeah,
but
that's
she's
more or
also
less what I
like
figured.
Not completely like flippant
Like,
about
she's trying to
it.
like figure out how
she'll
she
kind
like
of go
fits.
along with it. It's more so
Yeah,
that
you're
she's
her
like
emotional punching
still growing
bag for a bit
comfortable
there.
with the group.
Sorry,
kind of
mate.
thing.
Jerome's used to it. It's fine.
All right, nothing happens during your watch, so and dawn breaks.
I guess we kind of like kick everybody awake. Okay, I kick a couple people awake. You do what you want with everyone else.
You go climb up and get Jerome. I'll wake up the tieflings. You can go climb and get Jerome.
I like push him again, try to make him fall.
Roll acrobatics to see if you catch yourself, Jerome.
Can I give him guidance for that because I touched him?
Yeah?
Would you believe I got a 12 again?
You hit a branch, and then you catch yourself before you hit the ground.
Snow, come on. That's the worst way to wake up. Immediately be attacked. Come on.
I figured he'd catch himself.
Right in the snaz again. You know, it's difficult to wake up this pretty, but you're not making it any easier.
I'm sorry. I honestly thought you would catch yourself.
Usually I do. I'm a little off my game today. Ugh.
You sweated out of your eyes so much yesterday.
Your face is cut up from the branches and your eyes are red and puffy.
You just look like a mess.
Yeah. Would y'all be cool if I took a nap for the first little leg of our journey? I think I need it.
You look like you need it. Go for it.
You all eat your breakfast ration, and then you get settled into nap or to get moving. And it takes about half a day to get to the mountain. You all break from the path. You're headed up towards the mountain, which is like off of the path a bit. And as you are approaching, you see another like smaller brush of tree kind of around the base of the mountain. And you're able to make out what appears to be like a kind of door of some kind leading like into the mountain. Like there's something built like into the side of the mountain.
Can I do a perception check on that?
Yes.
I nat 20'd it.
So it definitely looks like a door like leading into it. It doesn't look like just a general kind of a place where someone would live. Given the brush and the door and the mountain thing, you can assume that this is an area where maybe not so savory individuals would be hiding out for a bit.
I relay that to everyone who's awake.
Did Jerome and Carice get their full rest?
It took half a day, and you all only needed like a 2-hour nap, so you're all good.
Yeah, I guess we'll wake them up then.
That was a good nap. Oh, sweet, we're here. We gotta raid this thing, right? Raid this thing, sneaky, stealthy-like, and then steal the shit back. Do we want to do like a sneaky, stealthy sort of approach? Go in guns blazing, that sort of thing?
I would personally prefer if we go in at least try to attempt to go in stealthy. I have a spell or two that might be of some assistance, but if we want to go in, if everyone else wants to go in guns blazing, I suppose we can also do that.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, same.
I will mention that I'm not exactly wearing the quietest of outfits.
Perhaps what Carice can do covers for that a bit? I'm not sure what you have, but...
I have Pass Without Trace prepared, so it's a veil of shadows and silence radiates from you, masking you and your companions, and for the duration you have a plus 10 bonus to dexterity/stealth checks, and can't be tracked except by magical means.
Well, shall we try sneaky then?
Can we open the door first? Is the door openable as we see it, Xaan, or is it just like a sheer rock face door? We've had issues with doors before.
Yes, it appears to be an openable door.
Guys, we could do this.
Y'all mind if we take a sec for me to put on a little disguise sort of situation?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Why?
Let's say, I've been around this town before in a different sort of persona, and, if we do happen to get caught, it might be good to be wearing that persona.
You know these people then?
Maybe not necessarily these people, but, let's say I just had a bit of a reputation, you know?
Would you like to wear this mask that I have? And I pull up my wooden mask that I put on when we were in the temple. Not the gold one that you guys don't know about.
I was like, is she really gonna just give it to Jerome?
Or do you have your own way of doing that? I'd prefer to keep the mask, but if this hurries things along.
Nah. I'll be real quick. It's not much that I gotta do. But I appreciate the offer. Better to have my face exposed.
Cool. Sorry, it's porcelain. Sorry, I put my mask on.
So Jerome pulls out his disguise kit and a secondary set of clothes and changes real quick.
We all just turn around.
When he's done going through his disguise, he looks like a very different sort of person. His hair is out of its customary ponytail and very much so looks a lot more ragged and bedraggled. It's got a slight wave to it, and it looks noticeably somehow more greasy and dirty. His face is also just like very slightly more contoured to look a little more gaunt, a little more sharp. And he's got like dirt wiped along like the underside of his chin. His clothes also look a little bit more tattered than they did before, which they already didn't look great. They're noticeably all black with a slight red lining. And there is a very noticeable dagger strapped to his hip. And he's just, he normally looks like a kind of optimistic, chill, happy sort of person. But the kind of general resting look on his face right now is just a default snarl. If you saw this guy approaching you from down the street, you would probably kind of not want to interact with him.
Interesting.
While Jerome is changing his identity, can I do just a quick trap check on the door?
Yes.
Cool.
Would you like some guidance with that?
I would love some guidance with that. Thank you so much for offering. Do I do it with advantage as well with my little boy?
Yes, your little boy helps.
Ooh, that's not the best. Straight intelligence plus 4, 14.
So you look around and you don't notice any obvious traps. You do find that the door is locked, but in regards for actual traps, you do not see any.
Awesome. I'll go back to the group, and then I'll go, Jerome, when you're done, whatever you're doing over there, the door is locked. So do your magic. And then I go behind the cart just in case anyone bursts out of the door.
So he gives Vay finger guns. If anyone asks, my name is Jack. Say you know Jack. They may or may not know what you mean. So Jerome's gonna approach the door and attempt to pick the lock.
Sounds good. You get the lock undone, you gesture for the others to come closer as you are going to be opening the door, and you open it up.
When we all come over, I would like to cast Pass Without Trace to give us the +10.
Okay. So you all are now cast in Shadow and Silence. So you all stealth your way inside, you're very quiet, and you find yourself in the first opening room. And this appears to be just a regular opening room. It's pretty plain. There are some clothes and stashed items tossed on the floor. There are a few crates here and there. But ultimately, it's a very decorated-less room. It's definitely, like, built into the mountain. And so the floor, the walls, the ceiling, it's all just, like, stone that had been picked away. It's not a complete rectangle like in this map. It's kind of, like, curved. It's a little uneven. It's kind of just all, like, worked into the mountain.
As we go in, am I getting any weird feelings from, like, related to the shadows or anything else? Like, am I feeling like a pull somewhere because these are, like, artifacts too?
No, you don't really feel like a particular kind of pull at all.
Can I do a just general perception check on the room to see if there's anything fucky going on?
Yes.
I only got an 11. That's not very good.
You see all the stuff I described. You see the two doors. When you all go to look at the doors, the north door is it seems to be just like a simple regular door, and even with an 11, you're able to hear that there are some soft voices on the other side. And then on the east door, it has a sign that says "Leaders only, do not enter."
Ooh.
I say we go through the leader door. What do you guys think?
Can I real quick you said there's boxes and shit in this room, right?
Yes.
Can I real quick investigate L boxes with help from my little boy?
Oh, I would also like to help with investigating the boxes.
Upon opening it, you find just like kind of typical stuff. You find some rations, you find some like new clothes. Yeah, it's mostly that. It's mostly food and clothes.
I'm gonna jack a pair of the clothes.
Leaf would like to listen through the regular door to see if he can maybe eavesdrop on anything, figure out what the sounds are on the other side.
Okay. Roll investigation.
10? No, wait, no. Bad math. That is 13.
So you're trying to listen, and you can't really pick out what they're saying, but you are able to pick up that there are multiple voices in the room. There's maybe you can pick out like 3 voices that are talking.
Then I kind of motion to the others and I whisper, there are about 3 people on the other side of this door, so we should definitely avoid that one for now.
Can I see if the leader door is trapped in any way?
Yeah, you can search for traps on the door.
Alright, dirty 20.
You are able to see a little mechanism that runs like kind of right at the bottom of the door that implies that something probably would happen upon going through the door.
Is there any way that me or my mage hand could conceivably deactivate the mechanism?
Yeah, I'll say that if you're using your thieves' tools and you have your mage hand, you can roll dexterity with advantage, so you'll be most likely to disable the trap without, like, triggering it.
You also still have guidance.
I wanna summon my helpy little mage hand, Handy. I'm like hey, Handy, how's it going? Mind, helping me out with this trap here?
It does a little salute and gets the thieves' tools from you and then heads down to the door.
Okay, so at minimum, it's gonna be like a 24.
Okay, got it. So the mage hand works for about a minute. You can hear like the tiniest little sounds of like mechanical messing with screws and cutting wires and whatnot, and then the hand reemerges and gives another salute as it hands the thieves' tools back.
Thank you, Handy. Much appreciated. You did good. Doors disarmed. I will go first. I was gonna say after y'all, but that doesn't seem to be the sort of situation we operating under here, so after me. Is the door unlocked?
No.
I would like to pick the lock.
We just walk into the door.
All right.
I'm sure that this will be a difficult task for Jerome.
However, will we get through?
Listen, even Jerome can roll a 1.
I got a 17.
Yeah, unlock that door.
Okay, I walk through the door, and I open and walk through, and take a glance at the room.
So you head into this new room, and it appears to be a small library of some kind, with a variety of books scattered around. Some of them open, some of them closed. You can see, just like by glancing over, that some books that are open have things that are like circled or crossed out. There are a few just like loose pages as though they were torn out, just kind of scattered on the ground. On the wall, there are a few arrows that are stuck into it, presumably from being shot by a bow. And on one of the arrows, there is a torn piece of paper of some kind that is under one of the arrows. And then, most prominently, on one of the desks is something that feels a bit more out of place. It is made of metal with some gold adornments, and it looks very old.
That sounds like something that could be on the list.
Can I do a perception check to see if, like, anything's gonna hit us? Or, like, there's any traps that are about to go off if we walk towards anything?
Yes.
Once again, I'm using my guidance. I got an 18.
11.
Oh, I got 22.
It does not seem like anything is going to come at you if you move further into the room. It seems like just a normal room.
Who has the list?
It's probably either me or Vay. Vay can read better than me, so Carius probably gave it to Vay. If it was given to him.
And I guess she's more knowledgeable about artifacts and shit, so.
I would like to check out the piece of paper stuck to the wall.
You go and you look at the item on the wall. and it appears to be some sort of like sketched picture of some kind, but it's really badly damaged, and the area around the face has been torn by the arrow and whatnot. Or it was ripped off. It's kind of hard to tell. So you cannot make out like the main features of whoever this person is that is sketched out.
You said that there were also torn up pieces of paper on the ground? And is it near, like, the spot on the wall where that note is?
It's scattered all around, and they appear to be book pages, like book pages were just torn out of books, and it's not part of the picture.
Snow got a 5 for investigation, so realizing she can learn nothing from the books, she instead goes to the artifact.
I got a natural 19 plus 5 for 24.
So looking through the books, you are just kind of quickly glancing through them to see what the general like vibe of them are, what they generally are about. And it seems to mostly be a lot of history books in regards to the Fae and the mystery of what happened to them. And a lot of the things that are circled are like important places in Fae culture. Things that are crossed out are a variety of theories about like what may have happened to the Fae, etc., etc.
I'll put some of the books that like seem the most important, like they circled a bunch of shit in them. I'll put them in my bag and I'll keep them.
So I decided to go look at the artifact instead.
I would like to join Snow in investigating the artifacts.
You look at the artifact, and it appears to be some kind of armor adornment of some kind, probably something that would be worn on the shoulder, like a kind of shoulder pad. It is decorated, it's mostly just plain iron, but it's decorated with some gold adornments that gives it an extra glimmer, even with like the lack of shine from the how long it has been here. It's clearly extremely old.
Can we cross-reference it with the list to make sure it's one of the artifacts?
Yes, and it is in fact one of the artifacts on the list.
I guess I'll carry this one?
Can I also do just a general investigation check just around the room to see if it looked like a full-on fight went down? Like there's arrows and shit. Does it seem like recent fight or like a fight at all?
You can do investigation.
19.
It doesn't seem like a fight necessarily. You can't make out like destruction from like two different weapons, but it seems like someone got upset and like threw a tantrum or just got really frustrated or something of some sort and caused this destruction. But it seems like if just one person did this versus like people having a fight.
Can I also check out the torn poster on the wall?
You're able to make out that the figure is most likely feminine given the dress that is being worn, but otherwise
Someone went through a breakup.
I'm gonna bring it along just in case. So it was half of a poster?
it was more like a small sketch. So it's like, it's not like a big poster, it's like I don't know, like the size of a napkin.
I'll put it in one of the books that I grabbed.
We check out the next room.
You enter this new room and it seems to be just a random storage area. There's a variety of items such as weapons, armor, there's some books stacked places, a lot of crates, there's a couple paintings along the wall, and just a bunch of clutter.
Are the paintings of anything in particular?
Landscapes, some portraits, nothing in particular really.
Can I look at the books?
Sure.
I give a help action as well as guidance today.
It's a mixture of like literature, a couple nonfiction books, some poetry books. It seems like just like a random assortment of just like stuff.
I'm going to give the best poetry book that I found one to Jerome and one to Carius, because I feel like, yes, I'll do that.
Carrie's like, he looks like very, very touched, and he just like gives Vey a very big smile, and he says, thank you.
I ain't big on the reading thing as a whole, but that's more of a personal sort of preference. I do appreciate a gift, so I'll be giving this book a little looky-loo later when we got the time. Good for traveling.
I look forward to reading about it and learning. I don't think I've read a poetry book before, or many books. And so it'll be nice to share something you're interested in.
And I always say, the best gifts are the ones that you steal.
I know that somebody got an 18 or above. I know that they did. I forget if anybody else did. But whoever got 18 and above on investigation, you are able to see that on the northeast wall. Something feels a little off, and upon going to investigate it a bit further, you realize that there is a hidden door here.
I'll beckon people over. Be like, there's a hidden door.
Can we feel around the wall to see how to possibly activate it?
You can roll investigation.
I got a 17.
I also got a 17.
You're feeling around, you press some of the stones and they seem to like go in just slightly, but you can't really quite figure out the pattern. And Jerome's with you and is like, try that. Try this other one. Okay, that didn't work. Try this one and then try that one. And it's just kind of like giving you tips, and together you two are able to press it in the right order, and the door slides open.
I go in.
You head down this tunnel. It's lit by a couple torches, and it's really quiet as you're walking down. It's around when you get to the bend that you see something kind of on the wall. You all kind of like look at it, because it just seems to be like a wall decoration. You're not entirely sure what's up with it, but it is a mask that seems to be made of some cloth that is hung up on the wall. It seems to be made out of wood, but it like has the appearance of cloth, and it's just hung up on the wall.
I will pull it down, because I was the first person, and cross-reference it with a sheet of artifacts.
You don't see anything written on there about an artifact for this. But they, because you took it down, you in particular, find this to be rather familiar, something that maybe has been haunting your dreams lately.
Can I do an insight check on the vibes? Just 'cause? 7.
It's wood. It has the vibe of wood.
I guess I'll look up and be like, yeah, it's not on here. I'll motion to the mask on my hip. I could hold on to this one.
I mean, I could hold on to it if you want. It looks like a pretty cool mask, and you already got the one you got.
I think I'll hold on to this one, and I'll put it in my bag.
Snow just starts walking back.
So both of these are archways. I didn't mention it, so I'm just going to assume that you all kept away from the archways because it's no door that you could hide behind, but there are archways, so it's not any doors that you need to get past.
Yes, we are stealthing stealthily.
Do we want to check out the 2 doors in that last room?
Is there anything through the archways? Like, does it go anywhere, or is it just like an open, or like an archway into the wall or whatever?
The north one has a little bit of a hallway, but it goes straight into a room, so you're able to see into that, and then you're able to see into a room on the southern one. So if anybody's going to peer through them, roll stealth for me.
Do we want to go through one altogether, or do we want to like split up?
I could send L down one. They can go invisible.
Send L south while we peek around north.
Alright, so I'll explain L first. So L goes through the archway and finds himself in a small room that appears to be like a little dining area. There's a few tables, but it is all empty at the moment. And then proceeding down a little bit more to the side, he sees some stairs that are going downwards. And then continuing a little bit more, is a large room with a lot of tables and 3 of the bandits that are playing cards. And then going forwards, you all find yourself in a workshop of some kind. There are a number of tables with like old broken weapons, a few armor items, a lot of various metals that have not been ironed out yet. So the north door is another archway, and then the door to the west is also an archway. I don't know why it has that little symbol there.
Can we perception to see if there's anybody that can see/perceive us?
Go for it.
So dirty 20.
13.
Listening carefully through the north archway, you are able to hear, you can definitely hear a few people. You're not quite sure. Well, no, you got a dirty 20. You could tell that there's 4 people in there, and you hear the sound of weapons clashing, so it sounds like there's fighting of some kind, or maybe it's sparring. So there's people down there. And then through the west, you can hear footsteps that are a little distant. So you can tell that there's like someone down that way, but they're not like immediately around the corner.
Do they sound like they're approaching?
No, it just sounds like they're kind of like pacing the halls.
I share this information quietly with the group.
Can I send Elle invisibly down a little bit further to double check that it's actually like sparring and not like fighting?
Yeah, so you send Elle through the archway just to double check, and indeed, it seems that they're just sparring. They're clashing at each other, but there's a couple people that are like cheering them on. It doesn't really seem malicious. There's even some sexual tension in that fighting going on right there.
Whoa!
Sexy.
Elle's child eyes, bring them back.
No homoerotic sword fights for you.
Elle quickly rushes back. So you all are going west?
Yes. Stealthily, though.
Everybody roll stealth for me.
25.
29.
18 for me.
Dirty 20.
15.
So y'all go here, and you kind of go around this corner, and it's when you get to this corner that you're kind of able to, like, see past this other corner, and you're able to see that there is a person just kind of, like, pacing and just kind of, like, mumbling to themselves as they're going up and down this corridor here.
Jerome and Snow can go in and try and smack this dude.
Are we hidden? Like, does this guy see us?
You'll have to stealth in order to get up to him, but at the moment, like, kind of around the corner, he doesn't notice you.
Okay. I would like to stealth to get up to him.
Alright.
So, 23.
Alright, you are able to successfully creep on up to him.
I want to attack with my rapier and give him a good, healthy stabbing sneak attack.
Okay.
Are you doing non-lethal damage?
I mean, you said stabbing.
That's why I wanted to interject and be like, wait, you said non-lethal before, but then stabbing.
Can I do a non-lethal attack that is not stabbing?
Yes, you can hit him with, like, the butt of your dagger. Yeah, also you have advantage because you did successfully sneak up, so he has no idea that you're there.
Oh, thank God. I needed that. I rolled a 3. This time I got a 19.
That hits.
14.
You smack him real good with the butt of your weapon, and he immediately slumps down to the floor.
So Jerome, after double checking that this guy is definitely not conscious, gives a thumbs up to the rest of the group and heaves the guy over his shoulder. We should probably store this guy in that one room back there that was kind of hidden, so nobody comes across him before we go searching him, just so we don't get detected, you know. So we sneak back to the hidden room.
Alright.
So we go back to where we were.
Okay.
My guess is that this guy also had homoerotic subtext happening with the two that were sparring. And he was, like, overwhelmed, and so he had to take a minute to pace and take a breather. That's my theory. So, I guess investigate the door for traps?
Alright.
And you said we could help action with that, right?
Yes.
There's probably not any traps on this door, but... Okay, I got a 4.
You don't find any traps on that door.
Alright, well... Is it locked?
Nope.
Can we hear anything beyond it?
Roll investigation.
I got a natural 1.
You hear nothing.
Can we definitely all roll that?
Yeah, you all can listen.
We're like all 6 of us are pressed up against the door.
Dirty 20.
Got a big old 13.
Leaf, you don't really hear anything, but Curious, you are able to hear the soft sound of snoring coming from the other side.
There's someone, I think, sleeping on the other side. At least one someone. I can't tell if there's more.
Alright, then we're gonna have to be extra quiet about this one.
I'll send Elle in to see if there's another door through there or if it's a dead end or anything.
Elle slips under there. Elle spots that there is another door. There are 2 people sleeping in there.
Could Elle keep going through and see what's through the other door just to see if it's worth going through?
Yes. So Elle very carefully sneaks by, very easy because they are asleep. And he slips under the other door and finds himself in a hallway of some kind. And glancing down this hallway, he spots a group of 3 people that are just kind of like hanging out together, talking, keeping low voices since they're near the sleeping quarters. but just hanging out in that hallway.
I'll bring Elle back, and I'll tell everybody that. Be like, it's worth going through.
Is the door locked?
No.
Okay. It seems we gotta either stealth this one to make sure that they don't wake up, or if they do wake up, we can send them back to sleep.
We can try. Let's do that.
Everybody's gonna stealth again. Alright, I got 21.
27.
14.
And we still have the bonus?
24.
I'm gonna apologize in advance for this. I got a nat 1.
Oh, and you have the chainmail.
Disadvantage is a bitch.
Alright, so you head inside, and you all are just kind of sneaking in, being very careful, walking very slowly. And Snow, you're keeping your eyes very, very carefully on the sleeping individuals, trying to just study to see if they're going to wake up. And in doing so, your foot catches on just like a discarded bag that's just on the ground, like not put away neatly, it's just cast over there. And so you immediately just fall with a loud clang on the ground and give a shout, which immediately startles the two that were asleep as they get up and they yell, "Huh? What's going on? What's happening?" And their shouts attract the group of 3 that were in the next hallway as they come running in as well. Roll your initiative.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Let's
Yes!
get into
Fight
it.
time!
So first up is they.
How big is the room?
The room is maybe like 20 feet by 15 feet with several beds along the side of the walls.
Did the bad dudes, did they stand up?
No, they sat up, so they're still sitting on the beds.
I would have been the last one in. Can I sort of like peek around the door to try and get some cover? I'll move back, and then I will hold an Eldritch Blast for if one of them enters my view, like if they walk through the door.
Next up is Leaf.
I'm going to just like place my hand on my own chest and cast Mage Armor to give myself an extra boost.
Okay. Next up is Snow. You are currently prone on the ground.
Cool. So I'm going to first start off by getting up, which is half of my movement. I'm going to use the rest of my movement to run kind of towards like the direction I was going already.
Alright, so towards the door.
Okay, so as I do that, you start to hear a slight tearing of flesh noise. And suddenly, with shreds of my shirt tearing away, this skeletal, gruesome-looking wings pull themselves out of my back, leaving this gaping wound that starts to slightly bleed and look a tiny bit infected. So as those pull themselves out and kind of flex themselves, everybody in a 10-foot radius of me is going to have to make a charisma saving throw. That includes everyone. I tried to run away from you guys if I could.
I'll say that you guys made it about halfway through the room, and it's a 20 by 15, and then you moved towards the door, but you couldn't get to the door because that is where the 3 bandits are, so you can't be on top of them. So yeah, I'd say that Jerome is within that range. The 2 guys in bed are within that range. Who is behind Jerome and Snow?
Carius.
I'll say Carius is in that range, and then nobody else. So Jerome and Carius roll the charisma save, you said?
I got a nat 20 plus 3.
I got a dirty 20.
Both groups of bandits beat an 11.
Okay, well, no one's frightened by me, so it's chill. All of you are just like, what the fuck happened? And by the way, Snow is also looking exceedingly confused right now. Like, she has no clue what the hell is going on. She is very, very confused.
This wasn't an intentional thing.
No, this was a pure instinctual thing that just happened. Cool, so that is my turn, but this does do more later on.
Did these bone wings destroy her chainmail chest piece?
I'm gonna say that they, like, ripped themselves out of the back of it, but didn't like fully tatter it. There's just like kind of tears where it came out.
Next are the 3 bandits who are now right next to Snow after seeing this weird fucking wing display happening. And so they're kind of like, ugh! And they quickly attack. And they're all going to attack at Snow because Snow is right there. So let's see. First one, what's your AC?
18.
First one, no. Second one, no. Third one. Oh, that last one hits.
Oh, I've finally been hit.
Finally. You get hit with a scimitar for 5 damage. So one hits you with the scimitar and it bounces off of your chainmail. The other one just swings and misses completely. And the third one manages to get like a clip off of your arm. Next is Jerome.
Jerome is gonna charge in behind Vey and also try to land a hit on one of these schmucks. Preferably the one that actually got in a hit on Snow. I said Vey. I didn't mean Vey. I meant Snow. So I am going to try and hit one of these guys with my rapier. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
And then I get to use sneak attack. This is great. I love this. 13 points of damage.
You gut him like a pig, and he falls over dead.
This was the one that attacked Snow and landed a hit.
Don't fuck with Jerome's buddy.
And then I'm gonna use a cunning action to disengage.
Next is Carius.
I would like to use Thorn Whip on one of the guys in the bed. 16?
That hits.
Carius's focus kind of glows, and a big vine covered in thorns appears, and he throws it, and it whips out, and it grabs one of the guys and drags him toward him.
So it drags the guy out of bed. He screams. Next are the 2 guys. The one that's still in the bed grabs his weapon from like the side table, and he scrambles to get up to his feet. So he's just going to go and attack Snow, since that's all that he really thinks that he can do at the moment.
Does Vey see him?
Yeah, I think you would like see Snow, and so then he would see you. So would you like to cast before he can attack?
Yes, I would. Let's see if I hit. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
That's 2 points of damage.
So he runs up to Snow. He's suddenly hit by this goopy, globby ball of darkness, and he gives a yell as he goes to swing at Snow and misses, and he's looking very panicked. It is your turn again.
Oh, wig! Okay. I'd like to blast this guy again, hopefully. That's a natural 19, so I'm guessing that's gonna hit. That is 7 damage.
Alrighty, he's looking very bloodied. Leaf, it is your turn.
I'm gonna do Witch Bolt against one of the guys that haven't been hit yet. Whichever one is closer to me, I guess. 22 to hit?
Yeah, I think that hits.
So he's going to take 1d12 lightning damage. Well, yeah, that's 4 damage. Leaf sees that they have the other few guys covered, and he looks over and kind of smirks at the 2 that are standing there. He snaps, and a beam of crackling reddish-black energy forms an arc between him and the guy closest to him.
Y'all are scary.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Snow, it is your turn.
One of the people in front of me, have either of them taken damage already?
One of them just took damage from the Witch Bolt.
On the one that hasn't taken damage, I am going to cast my cantrip Sacred Flame. So they have to do Dex saving throw, first of all.
They rolled a 19.
Cool, so that does nothing.
They dodge out of the way of this flame that you shoot out of your hand.
Yeah, so Snow, no, so I don't shoot this one out of my hand. So Snow kind of looks up and just raises her arm almost in like as if she was like worshipping something, and literally just out of the ceiling, a blast of fire just goes down, but it goes right beside this person. It doesn't actually hit them.
He gives a shrill scream.
But as a bonus action, I am going to cast Spiritual Weapon Does a 6 hit?
No.
Damn it. You can see her like moving her hands and trying to do something, and literally nothing's happening.
Alright, so now it is the two bandits that were originally at the door. They're kind of being blocked in by Snow being there, so they're just going to attack Snow. First one, nope. Second one, really nope. They both swing at you, and it either clangs off of your armor or they miss entirely. Jerome!
I feel pretty confident that the others have the thwip guy handled. So I'm gonna go in and aid Snow. Same sort of attempt to deal as last time. With a 21. I'm gonna assume that hits. And then I have to roll damage. 16 damage.
You gut him like a pig. And he falls over equally dead.
So, and then I shall disengage again and go back to where I was standing.
Carius, it is your turn.
The thwip disappears, and I toss my focus into my non-dominant hand and pull out my scimitar and just slash at the guy. I got that 20.
Roll damage, you get double damage.
4.
You get a good slash at him, and he gives another scream, and he kind of like kicks to be like, get away, get away, get away, get away, as he is now very bloodied on the ground. Next is said bandit, who is going to desperately try to crawl away, which will invoke an attack of opportunity from you, Carius, if you would like to stab at him again.
Yeah, I might as well. 9.
That does not hit. So he is able to successfully backpedal real hard away from you. Okay, I'm gonna say that Leaf also has an attack of opportunity if Leaf has a weapon to attack with at the moment.
I guess my head snaps to look at this guy, and then I jab at him with my dagger. 17. Wow, I'm rolling a lot of 1s for damage. That is a 3.
Okay. He's starting to try to scramble back away. Carius swipes at him with his rapier and just barely misses. The guy jerks away like, ah! Leaf, your head snaps over and you just reach over and slash at him and he falls onto the ground, dead.
And then Leaf just kind of grins and then looks back at the guy that he's still connected to with Witch Bolt. I like to think that when he's using his magic, his eyes are black.
You did Witch Bolt on one of the guys at the door, right? I think that guy's dead now. I think Jerome gutted him like a pig. So you turn and grin at a dead body.
Ah. I didn't realize that was the one that Jerome killed.
Garrus just holds his hand out for a high five from Leaf.
The other bandit, the one that was behind Snow, is looking very panicked. So he hits 6 damage to Snow. Vey, it is your turn. Bandit who just slashed Snow is still in view.
Awesome. I will attack that guy, because fuck him. Eldritch Blast again. This probably won't hit. That's an 11.
No, unfortunately not.
I'll just try to duck behind more cover, I guess. If the door is like kind of ajar where I am, I'll try and like cover behind it.
Leaf, it is your turn. You are using Witch Bolt on a corpse.
You know, once I see that Jerome is taking care of it, I cut it off. I'll Eldritch Blast the guy that is not behind Snow. Does a 6 hit by any chance?
Unfortunately not. He is easily able to move out of the way. Snow, it is your turn.
The less hurt guy does a 16 hit.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So Snow takes a minute, takes a breath while everyone's like kicking everybody else's butt. And she's just like, okay, I have wings. It's chill. We'll deal with that later. And so she steadies herself and she's a little bit calmer. And so she looks at the guy, pulls out her axe from behind her, and just full swings it towards him for 6 damage. Cool. So I do that and I smack him with it for 6 damage. And then at the same time with my other hand, I kind of do the same casting motion you guys saw before. For a 5, that won't hit. Okay, cool.
But it's okay. because you swing your axe around and you behead him like a French monarch.
Yes.
Off with your head!
Snow just like, this happens, Snow just stops for a second and just goes, oh, finally.
It is now the other bandit at the door's turn, who, now that your back is turned to him, quickly retreats, withdraws, and runs down the corridor away from you monsters.
I have a cunning action, which gives me a free dash action, and then I can also have my base movement speed, so I can move 90 feet in 6 seconds.
If you would like, you can dash after him to gut a third member like a pig, if you would like to so attempt.
If y'all are cool with that, I would like to do so.
Sure,
Yeah.
go for it.
Roll to attack.
16?
That hits.
How does an 11 treat this guy?
You grab him by the shoulder and you yank him back to the ground as he falls to the ground, and you bring your dagger down and gut him like a pig, and you murder him. Jerome one-shotted 3 dudes.
Critically Chaotic is a Dungeons & Dragons podcast brought to you by the following people. The DM is Xaan, who can be found as @Xandir on all platforms. They is played by Alex, who simply cannot be found. Snow is played by Bean, aka Alexa, who can be found in a variety of ways, but mainly @Alexandra_Jaden on Twitter. Carius is played by Kian, who can be found as @LostFanboy on most platforms. Jerome is played by Lady, who writes, quote, "And that's all you get, you dirty gremlins." Mogan is played by Queen, who chooses not to be located at this time or ever. Leaf is played by Sayla, also known as Strawberry online, who can be found as @_strawberrymilk on Twitter. The theme song is Melody by Emery. If you would like to support Critically Chaotic, please consider leaving a 5-star review and following us on whatever podcast listening platform you are currently using. You can find us @CritChaoticPod on Twitter with no underscores, where we post updates and retweet fan content. For any other platform you would like to see us on, please look in the description. We will see you next week for the continuing adventures of Vox Anima. Have a great week, everyone.
I just want to say, I made this being like, okay, they've been missing doing some regular fighting. I'm gonna give them just a clean cut, go in there and you can kill people because these are just bandits. And y'all are like, okay, we should knock them out. We should not attract attention, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I gave you a blood dungeon and you don't want to do the blood dungeon.